Presentation at the Experimental Center. It's 6 o'clock.
What's happening, everybody?
You're supposed
Shelton
to be
J, Think About It Radio.
I'm all out.
And I hope everybody is having a great day. I got a great interview lined up for you guys today. Miss Laketia Woodard, the author of the book. Man, this is a great book too, y'all. You guys should get it. 31 Days of Truth. Manifest your power. No, your passion. And power and perseverance. I knew I messed it up when I got on live. I said it all eloquently earlier. Let me do it again. Hold on. 31 days of power. 31 days of truth. Manifest your passion, power, and perseverance. Can you dig it? Miss Woodard, now that I got that right, how are you doing today? I knew I was going to do it.
That's okay. We all make mistakes, right? I'm doing well, Shelton. I'm doing well. And it's Lakeisha. Just to let you know.
Lakeisha? I thought it was Laketia.
Yeah. Lakeisha. Yeah. The TIA makes the shut sound.
Oh,
my mom was a little fancy with it.
Well, what the heck? I'm so sorry. Lakeisha, I made the shut sound. I didn't put in the sh in it. My fault. My bad. I gotta go. Should have went to shush school. All right. Lakeisha Woodard, the author of the book. 31 Days of Truth. Manifest your passion, power, and perseverance. And we gonna get it right. I'm telling you, ain't no sense of moving forward if we ain't gonna do it right. I might as well not do it at all. Lakeisha, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Shelton?
I am excellent, man, as you can tell. Just excellent move. Another great day in the city.
Yeah.
Another great interview lined up. I mean, just positive things going on, and I'm happy to talk to you so soon after your book signing.
I'm feeling all your energy, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it right now.
Oh, yeah, you can have it. Energy. Get that energy. Grab some of that energy over here, over there. Energy everywhere. Energy. Man, before we get into this, everything, the book and everything, or what led you to writing and all those things behind all that, please let the people know how to get a hold of you, your contact information, where to go purchase your product if they want to grab a copy of that book, and then we'll get into this interview.
Absolutely. So, beautiful people that's listening right now, you can find me on Facebook at Laketia Marie. That's capital Lakitia, capital Marie. And then on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, you can find me at A Sister's Truth, which is the name of my sister coaching business. And if you would like to purchase a copy of the book, you can find it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And the holidays are coming up, so this is an awesome book, not just for you, but your family and your friends as well. So don't just buy the book and keep it to yourself. Let's spread the love and the inspiration and the motivation, right? Mm-hmm. Let's create that sisterhood by purchasing the book for those that's around us as well.
That is very, very true. And that is very, very interesting that you say that, because the message that you're spreading with your book, I guess your purpose of your book is to get people to create a habit, right? To fall into, I guess, a way of living by just using their mind. Now, I'm gonna let you go into it because I don't want to mess it up. But what was the motivation, I guess, behind the book?
Well, the motivation behind the book was to just put something out there that would motivate and encourage people on a daily basis. Because let me tell you something. You know, this game that we play called life is one heck of a game. Do you hear me? So reading one Instagram post, you know, every 5 to 7 days is just not going to do it. We need to consistently embed inspiration, motivation, and encouragement into our lives on a daily basis. And so when we go through these life struggles that we face, there are common life struggles that we all go through, right? And we just doubt ourselves, you know, and we don't go after our goals. And, you know, we get, you know, unmotivated and uninspired. So with 31 Days of Truth, I am literally giving you hard truth for 31 full days that you can read early in the morning or before you go to bed at night to just reinvigorate you, to re-energize you, right, to pump you up, right? And so that's what I wanted. I wanted to be that voice that everybody needed when they needed that encouragement right before they threw in the towel. Before you throw in the towel and just give up, I want you to pick up my book and read the hard truth that we just need to be reminded of on a daily basis. Right? And so my book is a quick, easy to read book that leaves out all the fluff and all the theory that's hard for us to understand. I get straight to the point with my 31 Days of Truth, and I'm giving you quick, easy tips and tricks that you can implement immediately. You know, to make instant change in your life. And then I also give you examples, you know, personal examples from my life as well, because as a sister coach, you know, it's my job to provide you, you know, examples from my life experiences and my life struggles, because that's how I motivate and educate my clients, if you will, on my journey to personal
growth. How important is energy? You know, I noticed you spoke on detailing the book and everything. You talk about getting the level and your energy levels and stuff like that. How important is energy in just day-to-day living?
Oh, my God. Energy is so important, and we need to protect our energy. So if there's people that's around us that's negative and draining us, then we need to separate ourselves from those people, right? Because we have a lot going on. As a woman, I'm a wife. I'm not a mother yet, but most of us women who are out there, we're wives, we're mothers, we're caregivers, we're nurturers. So everybody is pulling on us from each direction, right? So we have to keep our energy lows up. So there are times when we need to, you know, use our no, because there's power in our no. And I talk about that in my book. That's day 26. No, a complete sentence. Because when people are pulling you from each and every different direction, they're literally draining you. Literally draining you. Mm-hmm. So you need to use your no, period, because there's power behind it.
I tell my wife that sometimes, you know, it's okay to say no sometimes because you're very loving, kind, caring, and sometimes you can just overindulge yourself or overextend yourself, you know, for those that don't see the overextending, but they'll just do more expecting of the extending. So sometimes I tell her that in love, like, hey, babe, you know, sometimes you have to just, you know, say no. It's okay. And then now you have to figure it out on your own. Then comes critical thinking. Then comes problem solving. Otherwise, where the option would always been there, where a mom, where a lady or a female or wife, whatever your role is out here, you know, and I get that and I see that, and I'm glad you spoke to that particular point, because that is so important, that when you do say that, two small words, two small letters, right? You know, N-O, when you say those two things, how much can really change from such a small phrase, you know, that's just amazing. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We need to, you know, take the negative stigmatism off the word no too, because when you tell somebody no, that's, you're not being selfish, you're not being mean, you know, you're not this self-esteem person, so it's okay to say no. Because at the end of the day, you need to take care of you first. Because if you don't take care of you, then who's going to take care of you? Because when you're operating at your best, everybody around you will benefit. Do you know how many times, you know, I tried to be Superwoman and just do everything, you know, everything for everybody else?
How did that work for you? How did that work for you?
And people, right, and people, and, you know, and somebody will say, but Keisha, if you know, you acting like you could do everything, I would have helped you. But you seem like you just had everything under control. If you don't allow people to come in and to help you when you need help, they're going to sit back and let you handle it. Then you're going to be stressed out. Then you're going to be overwhelmed. Then you're going to be frustrated. You're not going to be overwhelmed and frustrated, because they're going to sit there and they're going to watch you and let you do everything for everybody. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say no. We are human. We are imperfect. We can't do everything all the time for everybody. And guess what? That's okay. So it's absolutely nothing wrong with that. People are going to disrespect you. No, they're going to disrespect it. But that's okay. Say it anyway. There's no need to give an explanation. You don't have to explain yourself. It's just no. And at some point, they'll end up respecting your no. They'll catch on. They'll get the picture.
In your opinion, what makes a great point too? But in your opinion, what makes the word no so hard to say that people can't, you know, really say it on a consistent enough basis to see a true change?
Because we just want to please everybody. Because
why
most times we're people pleasers.
I know why. But I'm just saying though, why? We just people please. What? I mean, is that nature? Is that taught? Is that, you know? Is that, I mean, how? When do we? I guess at what level in life do we just say I want to be people pleaser?
Well, No, at no point do we say, "Oh, I just want to be a people pleaser." A people pleaser. We just tend to fall into that. Now, everybody's situation is different,
yes,
right?
ma'am.
So it depends on the person that you're talking about. Like, for instance, with me, I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. I was sexually abused by my stepfather for 8 years. It started when I was 8 years old, and my mom knew, and other relatives in the family knew as well. But for whatever reason, I couldn't understand. I was a kid. I couldn't understand, like, why would my mom know this is going on and wouldn't help me out?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I was trying to please my mom because I'm like, there's a disconnect here. Like, why don't she love me enough, right? So I'm finding myself as I'm growing up doing things to please my mom because there's a disconnect and I need to get her to love me because if she just loved me just enough, she will protect me from this bad person. So that's a behavior for me in my case was a survival mode. You understand what I'm saying? So when we become people pleaser, we really need to dig down to the core and the root of who we are. Because let me tell you something, personal experiences, relationships, life struggles, all of these things help mold us into the person that we are. But we need to discover our truth. And in order to discover our truth, we need to pull back those layers, right? And being sexually abused, and going from victim to survivor and forgiving my mom and my abuser, those were layers that I needed to peel back in order to grow into the confident, self-aware woman that I am today.
Yeah. They were necessary. I guess I'm not saying they were necessary, but it was necessary for you to do that for yourself, not for anyone else, not for no one else. It was important that you did that for you, and that's very big of you to even say that, right? To even open yourself up with that kind of memory or information, because again, you know what you went through, you know what you dealt with, and I guarantee survival and strength are one of those 31 steps, those 31 manifestations, right? Because that was a part of that building block. You didn't understand it when you were younger, which is a horrible experience, but that was a part of that building block, right? That shape you into who you are right now. So you're able to deposit into people even when you were so young. People were withdrawn from you.
Absolutely. The reason why, I share my story freely, right? Because it's my testimony. And I truly believe that my testimony is tied to my calling and my purpose. Because each and every one of us have a calling and purpose on our life, right? And my testimony is tied to that. There is nothing new under the sun, Shelton.
Nope.
So that nothing. So that pertains to the enemy as well. So the same, tactics he used to steal, kill, and destroy your joy is the same tactics he's going to use on me. But the thing is that when you survive those tactics, that means that I can survive too. But how would I know that if you don't share your testimony with me? That's why I don't have a problem with sharing my testimony, because there are other women who can relate to exactly what I just said right now. There's going to be women and men, for that matter. Let me not forget.
Yes, ma'am.
And leave out my brothers, right? Who will hear that story and will find strength and courage in that story. For them to go out and get the help that they need so they can go from victim to survivor. So our testimony, that's what we use to uplift another woman, right? So she can lean harder on her faith, so she can reach her breakthrough. So no, I have no qualms about sharing my personal stories and my personal testimony. That's what sets me apart from other life coaches, because I'm not just a life coach. I'm your sister in a struggle. It's my job to get down in the trenches with you, because I know from personal experiences that when you're at your low point and you don't have anyone physically to lean on, I'm not talking about spiritually, I'm talking about physically to lean on, that is a very lonely and dark place. Because when you're at your low point, you may not have your faith is tested at that point, right? But I think it would have been easier for me to have that person, that big sister, someone who would get down in the trenches with me and help me to get through, that time in my life. And that's what I provide my clients. And also in my book, I touch on this in my book as well, because day 4 is passion is tied to your purpose, right? It's tied to your purpose. So once we know our passion, it's going to be easy for us to understand our purpose, because we know what our purpose is. I truly believe we all know what our purpose is. We just running from it.
Yes.
Right? It's just happening. And then also, on day 31, I end the book talking about that your pain has purpose. Everything that we go through is to set us up for something bigger. It's to, to help you build that resiliency so you can persevere, that strength and that courage that you need. So, the trials and tribulations that you go through, look for the lesson in those trials and tribulations. Pull the strength out of those trials and tribulations. So when you get to the next level, you're stronger and better than you were before.
See, that's why I wanted you on the show. That's why I wanted you on the show, right there. I knew that was going to come. That information right there, that level of passion, that level of energy, that level of information, right? I knew that. I knew when we had the conversation, I got to have you on my show. Yeah. I didn't say I have to have you. I said I got to have you on my show, right? Because, that is needed. That is necessary, to, man, that's a great platform that you have, and I'm glad that you are using it to invoke true change. Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. It really is, because you truly want to. Excuse me. You could have stayed in your hole. You could have stayed right where you were.
Absolutely.
You could have stayed in that
Absolutely.
pain. You could have stayed in that
Absolutely.
hurt. You could have stayed in that embarrassment. You could have stayed in that lack of love. You could have stayed in that confusion. But you decided to get out, as you say, peel the layer back. You decided to get outside the box. You decided to be bigger than a box, right? The box couldn't hold you anymore. And therefore, you didn't care about the opinions. You didn't care about the feelings. You cared about you. You started putting yourself in the forefront. It's funny you were saying something earlier about putting yourself first and stuff. I was just reading something before I went on the air. We were talking. It was something in reference to don't feel bad about receiving. We're taught to it's more better to give than receive, and we take receiving as a bad thing, or we take compliments as okay, we gotta humbly take this, humbly take that. Says who? Right? So we says that sometimes. I think we live that because we don't want people to, we don't want to receive nothing because of this. I don't deserve it. We got to stop that. I'm going to say this. Listeners, new listeners, old listeners, whatever. We got to stop that. Talking about what we don't deserve. If you walk around and saying you don't deserve something, then what kind of life you think is going to come your way?
Yep, absolutely.
Life and death. Life and death. What are we speaking, and how are we speaking it, and how do we see ourselves? So it's okay to give yourself. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. It's not okay for this line to beep in, though, when I got my phone on Do Not Disturb. Now, that is not okay, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going. What I'm simply saying, though, is that, it's okay to live the life that you have. You said something about finding your purpose through your pain, right? Easier said than done, then that, and I know that as well, right? It's almost like saying, telling a person that's in the middle of the ocean that ain't took one swimming lesson, but they fell off the boat, and all you got on the people on the boat saying, just kick your legs and swing your arms. That's all you have to do. Now I'm in the middle of this ocean with sharks swimming around me. You talking about some swimming lessons? Get a boat down here, a dinghy or something. Get me out this water, right? So, but as you say though, if you can get past that, you got to get moved at. And so that's why they need the book, right? That's why they need the book.
That's why they need the book. Absolutely. Absolutely. And also let me just also say too that getting through the pain will take some time. Everybody's journey is completely different. And my journey, there's commonality in our journeys, even though our journeys are different. So I know there have been girls, I've had girlfriends who've gone through some things, and people, time will pass, and people will say, you still haven't gotten over that yet? Don't let anybody tell you or give you a time frame where you need to get over the pain. You take as much time as you need to get over the pain. If it takes years, guess what? It takes years. It takes years. Right? And that's okay, because it took me years to get over, to go from victim to survivor. That wasn't an overnight process. I didn't put a deadline on myself to get past it, and I didn't let anyone else to put a deadline on, on how long it should take for me to get over it as well. because this is my process, and it's okay for me to go through it in the way that I need to go through it. So I just think that it's very important that we don't let people, bully us into having to, feel great or feel perfect or feel okay. I mean, because something as traumatic as being sexually abused for 8 years, I was abused for 8 years. Do you really think it's going to take me a year and a half to get over it?
No, ma'am.
Absolutely not.
No, ma'am.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you've been traumatized for so long, it's going to take you a while to get through it. It's, go at your own pace, and and that's okay.
That's solid.
Totally
that's some solid advice right there. That's very solid, because I've even been guilty of that, because I can get over stuff pretty easy and go through, right? And just kind of, I think I mask it a lot through laughter and just kind of just moving, just keep movement, right? Movement, and but you have to really meet people where they are. Right, and not try to push them to where you want them to be. Just because you can do that very easy and it's not a problem doesn't mean that the same person. Almost like the classroom, right? Everyone's not gonna learn the same. Even though we got the same curriculum, I'm gonna take the information differently. I'm gonna my grade. That's why all the grades are gonna be different, because you're trying to grade everyone the same way. So you can't paint everyone with a broad brush through life. And as you say, that's such a solid point. And I know you're telling those young ladies that's in your program this exact same thing. And so what you're doing is that you're empowering young ladies. You're giving them power. You're giving them the power to dig deep inside and let them understand who they are. What happened to you does not define you. That happened. That did happen, but that didn't define you. And then also it didn't destroy you, right? So that's what I love about the fact that what you're doing out here. That's why I told you I had to have you on my show, because what you're doing is that you're truly getting outside of yourself and your pain. Not that your pain has fully disappeared, but your pain has made you a leader. Your pain has made you an empowerer, right? So you can go through and you can meet everyone right on the level that they're on. And now iron sharp as iron, and that we're all out here sharper because of your pain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if I can get through it, you can too.
That's beautiful.
Because my circumstances is no bigger than yours. My circumstances is not dire than yours. If I can get through it, you can get through it too. And that's another reason why, I share my testimony, because I want other women, and my brothers too, I want them to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes,
you just got to keep moving forward.
Keep on pushing.
And let me tell you,
shameless plug, my bad.
Yeah. And let me tell you, all it takes is truly the faith the size of a mustard seed. That's all it takes. I didn't grow up with, a strong foundation in the church. So when I was going through my sexual abuse, was my faith tested? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I'm like, if there is a God, how come God is letting me go through this?
Yeah.
But there was an ounce, a half of an ounce of faith in me. And that was all it took for me to keep waking up every day and focusing on my goals, for me to keep going, for me to keep taking risks, for me to keep shifting my mindset, so I'm not looking at my failures, I'm not taking my failures for face value, because I didn't get it right. I still don't get it right.
Right.
And that's okay.
Work in progress.
That's okay. Exactly. It's a work in progress. Exactly.
Yeah. It's definitely a work in progress, but it's doable. You got to just get up every day and just show up. That's what I talk about with my company. I talk about shameless plug. That's what I talk about with my company, though. Keep on pushing enterprises. Cope, right? KOPE. And everybody say, "Oh, I like that." Exactly. You're not just coping. You're pushing and you're moving forward. And so we give tools and tips and advice and just a conversation. They talking about what does keep on pushing and provide, whatever. A great conversation, consultation about moving to that next level. And how often you need it, that's what you get. And that's what we do, right? Because getting you to that next level is what's important, because if you stay there, then you're going to have whatever there gives. Whatever there provides you, that's all you're going to have. And you're not going to have anything else, see anything else, or want anything else, because that's all you're going to have is just there. So that's very powerful for you to do that, because sexual abuse and things of that nature. People have taken their lives because of that stuff, right? So it's like for you to get through that, man, and be able to be that source of power, that source of just strength. even through your own pain. Oh yeah, man, that's definitely commendable. And I'm glad that you chose this particular path so you can help so many people. You're very welcome. I mean, you're going to help a lot of people with this. You really, really are, with your book and with the movements that you're making and with the things we're going to do, and definitely with the connections we have now. Because like I told you off air, you locked in. Think about a radio. You in now. Keep on pushing enterprise. It's a mix. You in there like swimwear, because you have a talent and a gift that can be used, because it's all about valuable resources. I'm all about effective networking, not just grabbing your business card and you never hear from me again. I'm all about effective networking. What can we do for one another? What value can we add to one another? And I think that's what we have to do. We have to stop preying on one another and stop being predators and actually start being leaders and start being those leaders that people want to look up to and want to be. Right? And want to follow. Absolutely. Not necessarily follow. Let's lead together. I don't need you following. Let's lead together. And let's get out here and go get it, because there's so much work out here to be done. And for you, like I said, to get outside of yourself and recognize the amount of work to be done, that's commendable. I mean, that's absolutely commendable. And that's worthy of a thank you, because sometimes we don't hear that enough. We hear so many times what we've done wrong, what we have done negative. We don't really hear thank you. I appreciate you. Good morning. Hello. How are you? Those simple words, because see, like you said, young men go through it. Young women go through it. Your good morning may set them off. Your hey, how are you doing? May set them over the roof just because someone took the time to care. Because as you say, the people that love you and supposed to take care of you were the same people that was abusing you. So that does confuse you. And now you can't go to them and cuss them out and get them a piece of your mind. You're going to still get whooped. Hold on, I'm getting whooped over here and I'm getting whooped over here. Hold on, where's the love? And so you go out in the public and you still don't even get no love. Hey, good morning, how you doing today? Oh my gosh, how you doing today? I'm glad you asked. You don't even know what kind of day I've been having. Simple.
Ooh.
Simple.
Yes. And then when we ask that question too, good morning, how are you doing? Like, wait for the answer. Don't ask the question if you're not interested in the answer.
You done burn off. All right.
Can we listen for the answer and be sincere when we ask somebody, how are you? How's your day? Because like you said, you never know what somebody is going through. And in most cases, sometimes all you need is a conversation with somebody. Like you mentioned earlier, with sexual abuse, some people take their lives over that. I truly believe that suicide can definitely be, prevented. It's preventable. It's definitely preventable. If we could just take 5 minutes, like in May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And, on my YouTube channel, I did a video just challenging those who were watching the video to take 5 minutes, come up off of social media, come up off of text, and physically go and be with somebody, have lunch with them, sit with them, or literally pick up the phone and dial their number and call somebody to say, how are you doing, and have a conversation. Because sometimes that's all we need. Because when you at that low point, when you at the bottom, when you in despair, you feel like you're alone. You feel like nobody knows what you're going through. You feel like nobody else has gone through what you're going through. And that is so far from the truth. It's so far from the truth, which is another reason why we need to share. We need to connect, and give our gifts and share our testimonies with other people so they can know they're not alone.
You got the hand clap on that one. You got the round of applause on that one. I had to give you that one.
Yeah, exactly. And then to go back towards your comment about, just saying thank you.
Yes,
you know what? Most times we don't say thank you because we don't know how to say thank you. We don't know how to accept a compliment. Do you know how many times, way back when I was, at the beginning of my journey, you know how many times, somebody would say, oh, Keisha, you have a beautiful smile. And I'd be like, but my bottom teeth is kind of crooked, and like leaning to the side. Instead of just saying,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for recognizing my beautiful smile.
Absolutely. We don't know how to accept the compliment, and that can be because of, negative self-core beliefs that we have.
Post-traumatic slave disorder. I did a show about it. Post-traumatic slave disorder is what it is. It was untreated.
Absolutely.
You got all these people around here sick and untreated, and you wonder why you have the chaos that you have. We popping the pill because we got the headache rather than wondering, why does my head hurt in the first place? Can you dig it? So post-traumatic slave
Mm-hmm.
disorder, it is real. It is real. Listeners, Dr. Jordan Greery, post-traumatic slave disorder. Go check it out. I'm telling you, because we have to be able to get to that particular point, and it's because that's the history, and there's so much atrocity that happened with that's still to this day, and so we don't know how to let go. And so those that are here, right? We're here. We're the survivors. Our people survived. Our people made it through, right? All that struggle and that strength. So we're supposed to encourage. We were born to encourage. We were born to motivate, right? Because our ancestors went through and made it through, and through such a tough time, they still made it through that. So that's why I like, again, what you do. It's all about motivating and encouraging, and not just motivating and encouraging. As I say all the time, with an action plan. You have to have something to do. Now I'm motivated. Now what? Now I'm encouraged. Now what? What do you have for me then? What do you have for, what's my next step now that I feel better? What's my next step now that I'm not as sad? Now what do I do? A lot of times people just give the motivation, but then what? And that's what leaves people bitter and untrusting, because guess what? You're supposed to be a source of strength. And you still did just as bad as those other people did, because you still don't have nothing for me. But you said you did.
But that's why it's important for us to walk in our truth too, so we can just not tell people, but we can show them by example as well.
Lead by example. Right? Hey, so, I want to do a time check for you. We're doing 30 minutes and 45 seconds and count. I know you said you're about a half hour or so I don't want to just take too much. Hey, let me know. It's on me. It's on you. It's on you time wise. You know, just let me. I was just letting you know. I was being mindful of your time.
I'm enjoying the conversation, so I give you another 5 minutes.
I got another 5 minutes. Lakeisha Woodard, they think about a radio, another 5 minutes of a time. Man, y'all need to write this down, jot this down, make it a holiday. Can you dig it? All right, the floor is yours.
but so what I was saying is that, you know, we need to lead by example, and the way that we do that is by truly just living in our truth. You know, when I first started my business, like in the beginning stages, I kind of had a concept, an idea, but not really. You know, it wasn't all the way pulled together. So I took a risk and decided to go to a networking event that was downtown Houston. It's a true story. So I'm literally in the car, I'm in traffic, and I'm going to this networking event, and I'm having a conversation with myself in the car, talking myself out of going to this networking event.
Well, I talk to myself all the time.
Because at this particular event, this was going to be my first time holding myself out as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, or whatever.
Yeah.
And because I didn't have it all together just yet, there was a little bit of doubt there. So I'm going back and forth. I'm like, no, maybe I shouldn't go, or maybe I should go, maybe I shouldn't go. And in the midst of me having this debate, my phone rings and I pick it up. And on the other end was someone calling me to tell me that they had landed a job in the field of their choice, and they wanted to call me and thank me, because watching me go through what I went through, because they know my history and my past, and to persevere and keep pushing forward, gave them the motivation to do the same. This girl was in tears. I had no idea that she was watching me like that from afar. I had no idea that she was pulling strength from me and watching me elevate to different levels in my life. That's why it is so important for us to live in our truth, because we never know who's watching us. I'm not a mom yet, but that doesn't mean that no one is watching me. I have sisters, I have brothers, I have cousins, I have nieces, I have nephews, I have friends of the family who are watching me, who are watching you. So when you are living in your truth, it makes it easier for the next person to do the same thing. Because guess what? Your truth is just as cool as the next person's truth. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, and we have people posting their social media lives. I'm doing the air quotes. Their social media lives that they're posting up.
Far from social.
And we're looking at their lives, and we're comparing it to our own. And because our lives don't live up to theirs, we feel bad and sad about our lives. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, sir. Your truth is just as cool as their truth. Just because you're not on their level yet, that has nothing to do with you. You got it going on too. In your little, in your little circle, in your little area. You have it going on too. Because you may be looking at somebody else and thinking like, dang, I'm not there yet. But then there's somebody who's a step below you who's looking at you like, dang, if only I can get there.
Yeah.
To that level.
Yeah.
If only I can get there. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that we just be who we are, that we're authentic, that we love ourselves, and we become aware of ourselves. And we lose that because of social media. And I'm not downplaying social media at all, because social media is also a great thing too. But we need to learn how to moderate it. We need to learn how to, you know, just take in and leave out the good and the bad.
Know the difference.
You know the difference.
Wisdom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, have the wisdom of using these platforms, you know, because, again, they're there for a reason. But like you said, you have the wisdom of how to use them, because you can abuse anything if you overindulge in anything enough. So, it's all about having the wisdom and the knowledge and understanding. And that's so on time, because you stated about the truth be your truth, you know, your 31 days of truth. And then you're saying that people are empowered and strengthened by you living out your truth. So that's a great way to bookend it. You know, we started with truth. We ended with truth.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, what else do you want? What else do you want, man? What else do you want? You start with truth, you end with truth. I mean, it's all about the truth and knowing who you are, whose you are, where you're going, understanding that and walking in that power and walking in that strength of who you are. This has been a great, great, great interview, man. I really appreciate it. Any shout outs? Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any special thanks or anything like that? Any special thanks while I have you on, you know, and then we can let you do what you need to do for the rest of your day, because I do want to value your time, young lady.
Thank you so much for having me on your show today, Shelton. I've really, really, truly enjoyed this conversation. And hopefully we can have this conversation again. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I just want to give a shout out to all those who's listening right now. Now, I know we talked for about 30, 35 minutes and we said a lot, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully you're still listening to me right now. But, you know, if I lost you throughout this conversation, I want you to hear this and hear this good. And don't forget it. I want you to take what I'm about to say and internalize it. And that you are enough and your truth is beautiful. Period. Never forget it.
Mm-hmm. You are enough and your truth.
You are enough.
Is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
You are enough. Well, look at that, man. Look at that, man. Look at that. Let the people know how to get a hold of you once again, and how to go get a hold of your books and get the information and all that, please.
Sure. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at A Sister's Truth. And you can find me on Facebook at Letitia Marie. That's capital L-A-K-I-T-I-A, capital M-A-R-I-E. And you can find my book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, or you can go to the link, bit.ly/31 Days of Truth. And you can find all the information about my book and where to purchase.
Can you dig it?
And then also, if you're in the Houston area,
No, go right ahead. Go ahead.
If you are in the Houston area on December 9th, at 2 p.m., I am hosting another book reading and discussion at the Perfect Latte in Richmond, Texas. So if you go to my website, December 9th at 2 p.m., that's right. So if you go to my website, yes. So if you go to my website, www.asisterstruth.com, you'll find more information about my book reading and discussion.
Can you dig it? This has been another great show. This has been another great conversation. I thank you so much for your time, your energy, your passion, your knowledge. I mean, just everything you've done today, man. It's been really good. And I was really looking forward to this interview. And it was everything and beyond what I expected it to be. And I really appreciate your time. I wish you much success in everything that you're doing, and with your book, with your life coach, everything that you're doing. Again, like I said, you're connected. We're definitely going to see each other again. We're going to connect again because we're running some of the same same circles now. And I just wanted to say, keep doing your thing, keep on pushing, keep on going, and go non-stop, because now you out the box now. It's almost like when you blow up an air mattress and then it don't work, you find out it got a hole in it. When you try to put it back in the box, it don't fit just right. So now you out the box, you don't fit just right. You dig what I'm saying? Can you dig it?
I dig it.
You don't fit just right. Man, once again, man, it's been Think About It Radio. Hit me up, thinkaboutitradio@yahoo.com, at think_radio on Twitter, Think Radio on Instagram. Keep on pushing enterprises.org. Go to their website, book your appointment. Let's get a consultation. Let's get you in this thing. I appreciate you guys, everything, and for everything, everywhere. Keep on pushing, keep your head up, because you put your head down, you know you're going to run into something. Much love to you guys. Again, appreciate you for your time. Lakeisha Woodard.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Peace.
Hey sis, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch our video. I am so excited to let you know that we're going to be uploading new videos every week to give you the tools, the encouragement, the motivation, the inspiration that you need in order to live a courageous life without limits. So in order to stay connected with us, I need you to hit that subscribe button and also ring the bell so you can get notifications every single time we upload a new video. In the meantime, check out these videos right here, and until I see you again, always remember that you are enough and your truth is